As an A&M fan, I would like to see this because it makes me sad that we don't play Texas every year. But from A&M's perspective, one of the big advantages they had when they went to the SEC is they were the only Texas school in the SEC, and you have seen them throughout their. Do
you think Arkansas would say no?
I kind of wonder about that. And then the other thought that we talked about before the show is if the state of Oklahoma forces Oklahoma and Oklahoma State to be packaged together, how many SEC teams are going to be like, no, we don't want Oklahoma State?
What if Corey, I'll throw this to you. What if the SEC finds out if they say no to UT and Oklahoma, those two teams will power up together and they'll either go to the Big Ten or they'll go to the Pac-12?
I don't think they care. I really don't think that the SEC is probably looking at it going, y'all want in. I don't think anybody's making concessions to get in. But the one thing I think Choppy's right about this, they love the group, where I think Texas has always loved being Texas. You know, like, hey, we run the Big 12.
And they ain't Texas in the SEC.
And OU runs, and I think that's been one of the biggest problems with the Big 12 is how much they concede to those two colleges.
They'd have the most money, right? In the SEC, they'd be the most valuable school.
Yes, absolutely.
Just like the Cowboys are the most valuable franchise.
They are very Cowboys-esque in terms of their brand value is really high, but they don't usually win.
Right.
At least as of late.
And that doesn't matter whenever you're really like
as of late, like in our whole lifetime. Yes. I'm not even a UT hater, but let's be honest here.
Here's the thing, Kevin. You said, I think you're right that A&M has become far more relevant.
Yes.
But they are not better than they've ever been. Like, they are still the same. Like, look, how many
I would disagree with that.
How many double-digit seasons has A&M had since they moved to the SEC?
I'm going to guess 2.
Probably.
Manziel and last year?
Yeah, I think last year was only 9 because of the shortened season, but that would have been another double-digit season.
I don't agree with you on that. I think if everybody would have been playing, that would have been
definitely wrong about that.
No, I'm not. And you can't prove me wrong. It's my opinion.
You're definitely wrong. They were one of the best 4 teams
because
in
there were
football.
only like 4 teams in football last year, Kevin. Not everybody played last year.
Everybody played last year.
Not everybody played last year.
Everybody played last year.
There were teams that said, you know what, we're only playing 4 games this season.
That is because of their states, not because of their schools.
But how many have they had?
Probably those 2.
1. They've had 1.
I mean, in last year.
No, not last year.
You didn't get any.
All right. Get on.
They didn't get any chump games.
But what I'm saying is they had up in, I guess, 1998, they had
went to the Big 12 championship.
1 double-digit season. And other than that, 6-6, 4-8, 7-5, 5-6, 9-4. That was leading up to. Then they got in the SEC, went 11-2. 9-4, 8-5, 8-5, 8-5, 7-6, 9-4. Like, they still didn't get into the Alabama threshold.
Well, sure.
And that's where. But here's the thing. Reggie asked earlier, who stands to lose here? Oklahoma stands to lose massively because
agree.
Oklahoma will get exposed to other teams in the SEC, whereas whenever they are here in the Big 12, they run it. And so I don't know that it's going to be a benefit to OU other than being able to recruit and get money. But they're going to look. At the end of the day, they're going to have to decide: did we get enough from the college football playoff to balance that out, or is it better for us to just be in a conference, have 3 to 5 losses on our record every year, and be like, yeah, but it's okay, we're in the SEC?
I wonder if Oklahoma wanted to do this for that shift in perspective for themselves to like make them more attuned to start winning national championships again.
Whenever you get to that big stage.
And because you have to see that the level of competition is different because I thought A&M raised their profile because that record in the SEC is not the same as the Big 12. Like if you have the exact same record, it's better in the SEC. And I wonder if Oklahoma's like, man, if we can carve out a niche as the second best team in the SEC, we might be better suited for the college football playoff or whatever.
I forget this. How much of an education did you guys have or remember when this was a topic 5-6 years ago?
I was in on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was against the Big 12 breaking up then, but now I'm fine with it. But do I remember this correctly? Like the governor of Oklahoma, they were not going to allow, because OU's a public school, it's not a private school. they were not going to allow OU to go to the Pac-12 or go to the Big Ten or go to the SEC without carrying Oklahoma State with them.
And that's
that
something we were discussing. I think
that's why we brought it up.
And
that could be problematic.
The legislature with Oklahoma State will keep them like they could try.
So as much as OU
that's not
could
only an Oklahoma thing. That's happened with Texas in the past as well, with the likes of Texas Tech and some other schools where Texas has been kind of bound to some of the state schools.
Yeah. I mean, I want this to happen now, but at the same time, I do feel bad for Baylor and TCU and Texas Tech.
They're going to lose out. They're going to lose out on a lot of money unless they go to another conference where they can benefit. But man, their program is going to be depleted there. When it comes,
they're not a money making organization like Texas.
Yeah, they rely on winning more than they rely on just the name of the brand.
So you're going to have to form like, here's the Southwest Conference again, except nobody's going to care.
How does it benefit? Does it allow Texas to benefit at all, other than just getting more money as they go along? Because you were talking about OU carving out that niche. Texas doesn't win, and they have to be able to do something. Otherwise, they're right there with A&M, and it's just like, well, we kind of right here again, where we were in the Big 12.
I wonder if this helps put a little bit of boost back into their recruiting. Now, I know bringing Sarkisian on.
Did you just say you hope?
No,
not Texas.
Not hope. I wonder. I hope we play Texas again, but I wonder if it raises their recruiting profile, because Texas, unfortunately, has fallen kind of into the Notre Dame mindset, where they don't realize that they don't matter as much to kids as they used to. They still matter. And for a certain level of prospect, going to Texas is probably their lifelong dream and their only goal. But how many prospects now are like, hold on, and go to Alabama? Ooh, I want to go to Alabama. So I wonder if Texas shifted and they were able to bump up the recruiting with their new coach, which we already heard is doing a better job recruiting than Herman was. And then if they started to win, then what's to stop Texas? Like, I get the hierarchy of all time of Texas versus Texas A&M. It's not even close. Texas, if they could win in the SEC, then they will literally have it all. They'll be winning in the best conference. They have the biggest brand. They would get the shine back to their recruiting. Those are big ifs, but I think Texas views this as another move towards reasserting domination.